Hello and welcome back to the Taylor Seminars, where we talk about how Taylor Swift turns life into poetry. My name is Hannah, and I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Exquisite. Hello.
Hello.
We are so excited. Are you excited to be here?
Yes, I am. I am. Are you excited to be here?
I'm excited to ask you lots of questions.
That was an excellent setup, Hannah.
Thank you, thank you. We are here to
Thank
talk
you. That was
about
great.
track 7 on Midnights. Oh my gosh, track 7 on Midnights, called Question, which is one of the few Taylor Swift songs with like punctuation.
Yep. A question mark, even.
Yeah, we've definitely had like exclamation points, um, like in me, for example. But yeah, we got a question mark, and I think this is one of her only songs with the letter Q that starts with the letter Q.
I know. It's so difficult when people do those, they're like, spell out your name with Taylor songs. I'm always upset.
Well, you can. Well, now you can do question. Oh, because you can't do the X.
I don't have an
EX.
X.
Hoax is the closest. I don't know.
Doesn't There's no X. So I'm hoping TS12, she should just have a song called, I don't know, have a song called X-rated, and then that could work.
Oh,
That could work.
okay. Okay. Or xylophone.
That's really bad.
What are other
That's really
I
bad.
can't think of anything like else. It's not there's not a lot of options. She should just Shakespeare it and make something up.
She could call a song extreme, but then just take away the E.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Or I can't think of anything else. Xenon, the noble gas, maybe.
Oh, maybe. It's hard being me. And now I'm randomly like, what is her U song?
Uh like the song that starts with the U,
Yeah.
Untouchable.
Thank you. I knew there was one. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
there's one. I was like, what are the hardest letters in my name to get a song? And it's literally the X and the U. Everything else I think is pretty easy.
Yeah. Um and
Yeah.
then our next week's episode's gonna have one of the very few V songs, vigilante shit.
Yeah.
So she was just like, I'm gonna get out these letters of the alphabet. We gotta pick
Does
some
she have a
up.
Z song?
Maybe she doesn't have a Z either.
She
Uh,
needs a Z and an X.
yeah,
Does she have a Z? I don't think she has a Z.
I'm looking it up right now. I don't think she has a Z.
She doesn't have a Z. I think those may be the only two songs in the out. Well, I'm not gonna claim that because I'd have to go and verify that.
Yeah, so yeah, we need
I
X
don't
and
feel like doing
Z.
that.
Yeah.
Yep, X and Z.
All right, here we go.
Anyway,
That was
questions for Taylor.
oh my gosh. Yeah, so we as you can tell, this is a song that has a lot of firsts, and it is but there's lots of unique things about this song. Another one is that she samples herself in this song
Yes.
very
Mhm.
obviously, like in the she has
And what
samples
song does she sample?
Out of the Woods.
Yep.
Yeah, which is a uh, off of her 1989 album. It is track four. Four.
Something.
Yeah, I think it's because it's a Welcome to New York blank space style Out of the Woods. And Out of the Woods, very famous song about Taylor and a boy. Um, and
You
how
say that like
I said it so viciously with venom.
no, you say that like you're like about Taylor and a boy, and it's like famous song about Taylor and a boy.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sure.
well, this boy
For Crown
is
and
is
Kitchen.
very famous for
Someone who could also write songs about her.
yes, yes. Oh, it is about Harry Styles. In that song, Out of the Woods, very anxiety-driven song about
Yeah.
trying to see if she can last with this person, and the answer is no.
I would like to say I love the Taylor's version of Out of the Woods so much because they added so much more like overwhelming noise.
Yeah,
And I do think that question came from probably when she was re-recording 1989 because we also got like Now That We Don't Talk, which also references the same kind of situation going on.
Yeah, you mean
So,
fucking
white
situations,
dress,
circumstances, miscommunications?
yeah, and then what is it? What white snow, red blood, something. I
Oh,
just
oh, you mean
made
is it
those
over
lyrics up.
now?
Is it over now?
That one too.
Now that we don't talk. Now that we don't talk, talks about the yachts and boats, but is it over now does too. Anyway, she references that skiing accident, the manslaughter incident.
And I will say, not a manslaughter, where Taylor was famously, where Taylor's partner was famously injured, 20 stitches in a hospital room. But no, I think it is very apt that you are bringing up "Is It Over Now" because all of these songs, "Out of the Woods," "Question," "Is It Over Now," are filled with questions. Are we out of
Yep.
the woods? Is
She's
literally
got a lot
repeated.
of things to ask.
Is it over now? Is a question. And she in the bridge. Did you think I didn't see you? There were flashing lights. Like the whole thing was like, you know, was it baby? Was it over when she lay down on your couch? Was it over when you unbuttoned? Those are all questions. Was it over then? Is it over now? She had a lot of things left unspoken, and she was like, "I shall speaketh now."
Yeah, no, exactly. So when I pressed play on this song and she did, I remember I was like, oh, out of the woods.
Yeah, I mean Taylor is not one to shy away from questions. I think, I mean, in All Too Well, she literally asks the question, I remember it all too well. This girl loves looking back at a memory and poking at it and being like, do you remember this too? I mean,
Because that happened. I
yeah,
was there and it happened to
yeah.
me.
Like, do you remember we were sitting there by the water? Remember
Do
when I
you
pulled up and
remember
said, get in the car?
by the
I remember
water?
that night,
So
2:30
many
a.m. So
questions.
many questions. So this okay. So let's get into the song. It starts out with I remember. So again, we have Taylor playing with memory, her perspective, trying to see was I crazy or were you changing the rules every day in this chess game, right? Like this is. So here we go.
Hmm.
She remembers. What does she remember? Good girl, sad boy. Big city, wrong choices. We had one thing going on. I swear that it was something, 'cause I don't remember who I was before you painted all my nights a color I've searched for since. But one thing after another, fucking situations, circumstances, miscommunications, and I have to say, by the way, may like, I just may like some explanations. Wow, I just read that wrong. By the way, I just may like some explanations. Can I ask you a question?
I love this intro because she literally is like, I remember, and the production of it kind of like sets the scene for her to be like, okay, this is what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
I was this good girl, sad boy, and then immediately I'm in 1989 because she's got good girl face with a nice little skirt,
Yep.
right? Like
Style.
all there's 1989 all over this entire song.
Yep.
Like she's like, let's go back. Big city, 1989 is New York.
Welcome to New York.
Wrong choices. And then the one thing that they had going on was that they were hooking up. So they had
Yeah.
one thing going on, right? Sex.
Yeah. They had
And maybe
chemistry.
there was more. Maybe there was more. We
Yeah.
had one
It
thing
was. It
going
was
on.
something. There's something there.
Yeah. And it had to be something because I don't even remember who I was before you. Like, you painted all my nights colors I have searched for since we were in Screaming in Color, everybody.
Yep.
We were in Screaming Color.
Yep.
So it's just so funny. Like every line is like, oh, 1989.
Mm-hmm.
But then she's like, one thing after another, situations, circumstances. We were not talking, but I would
Well, I
just
would say
love
situations and
that.
circumstances could also just be the paparazzi hounding them. I know
That
places,
too.
right? But then,
Yep.
but you're right. It ends up miscommunications. There is, or no communications.
Now that we don't talk.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I walked out and said, "I'm setting you free," right? Because
Yep.
I don't know what's
But
going on here.
it was a miscommunication because the monsters turned out to be just trees.
Yep. When the sun came up, you were looking at me.
Wow. Ugh, what a
And
song Out of the Woods is.
yeah,
Anyway.
and yeah, it's amazing that she's able to distill like one of the big through lines of 1989, the album, into a verse. Right?
Literally, she's kind of insane.
Yeah.
But now that she's like older, she's like, I just want some explanations, dude.
Yeah, I want some let's get some closure here. Let's compare notes.
Let's talk about this. just some explanations about how things went down. So, and then she goes, "Can I ask you a question?"
Yes.
Did
And
you ever have someone kiss you in a crowded room?
mhm.
And then there are those ad libs she's doing. That's like, oh, in the background. It's not on the lyrics when you listen to the song. It's when it's there. And every single one of your friends was making fun of you. But 15 seconds later, they were clapping too. Then what did you do? Did you leave her house in the middle of the night? Did you wish you'd put up more of a fight? When she said it was too much, do you wish you could still touch her? It's just a question.
I remember Taylor liking the TikTok about like people being like, you don't get it, guys. She's like asking these like, oh, like sarcastic, like, oh, right? Like,
Oh,
she's not like
oh.
it's not that she's dumb, right? It's like, like she clearly knows what you're gonna, like she's these are questions that are leading, right? And
Yep.
that you know the conclusion. It's like a lawyer that's leading a witness that's like trying to get the witness to
Hmm.
admit to something, and right, and she knows what she knows, and then but then her defense is like, oh, it's just a question. Like I'm not like
It's just
trying
about her
to.
hands up. Her
Yeah,
hands are up.
both of our hands are up right now.
It's just a question. She's like, it's not even that deep. It's just a question. It didn't matter. Like, did you wish you could still touch her? I mean, like, I don't even care if you wish that, but
Yeah.
do you? Is that something you want?
Yeah. Right. Okay. So, and yes, we do know that there was, there have been, there is an infamous video of Taylor kissing someone in a very crowded New York City square.
There's also evidence in song of the like leaving in the middle of the night. Like, it's is it over now? Reveals so much that it's like,
Yes.
oh, no wonder she kept that under lock and key
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
Because all is it over now is they're both like, we're over, but we are still, she was like, I was hooking up with people, you were hooking up with people, but we were also hooking up with each other, even though we shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Um,
And then do you wish you'd put up more of a fight? Like as in like instead of just letting me walk out the door when
literally,
I said I walked out and said I'm setting you free, maybe you should have been like, "No." You know?
I said I loved you, and you said nothing back.
Yikes.
Yikes. Like, there's no reason I have to go jump off a very tall building, a very tall something, even,
Yeah.
just to see if you'd come running. But no, and that, but no, and is it over now really has the same feeling of the O in the chorus
Yeah.
of, did you wish you put up more of a fight? Oh, oh,
Oh,
oh.
I wish guys could see our faces. Yeah, uh,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
The did you ever have someone kiss you in a crowded room? Also reminds me a little bit of like Slut, right?
Hmm.
Everyone's making fun of you, clapping. The crowded room being the world trying to crowd in. And yeah, it's yeah. What would this have been like if we didn't have these situations, circumstances, miscommunications?
Yeah. I was just about to comment on that because of but 15 seconds later they were clapping too. Like, they joined in. But what did you do when they joined in? You literally left your house in the middle of the night. You left. What was that about?
Yeah, yeah. It was just
Because you couldn't handle that pressure? That's crazy.
yeah. It was.
I know places we can hide, but you don't want to know that.
Yeah, he's like, let me just go. I would like to be caught by the cages.
Yeah.
All right.
And there was camera flashings for him, not her. And she's like, see, I told you. I know places we can hide because I kept my nights out of sight.
No. Yeah. No. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Wow.
We'll keep going. Half Moon Eyes. Bad surprise. Did you realize out of time she was on your mind with some dickhead guy that you saw that night? But you were on something. It was one drink after another. Fucking politics and gender roles, and you're not sure, and I don't know. Got swept away in the gray. I just may like to have a conversation.
I love this verse because the way I see it is the half moon eyes, at least to me, is like describing. I see this whole verse like there's another party, like there is in that first verse almost. And that person's drunk, and then bad surprise. Oh, look, the singer is with someone else, even though I'm thinking about her, and there she is across the room.
Mm.
And I'm drunk, and I'm just gonna go approach her, and now I need to buy her a drink, maybe, or we're both doing one drink after another, and that's, I think, in my head is the like gender roles that are on thing, and they're like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Oh, I'm not sure. Blah blah. Like this random conversation that's literally just small talk, and it's like, I wonder how weird it is to small talk with somebody who has seen you naked.
Nice. Okay, I like
Here
this
and then
interpretation.
yeah, it's just like I just want to have a conversation, but we're just talking about stupid stuff. Well, it's not stupid to talk about politics and gender roles, blah blah, but like things that we don't really want to talk about.
Okay, so I
That's
like it.
not
So,
really
so
what I'm
you're
trying to
like
talk
they've
about.
reunited in this.
Yeah, they bumped into each other in like a bar, and she's with somebody else. Um, hmm
Yeah, when I,
but
to me, I don't see this necessarily as one event. I kind of just see this as like, yeah, so, yeah, I do think, yeah, like, some people are buzzed, and then it realizes that, oh my gosh, I really still want to be with you, but she's with some guy. And then I think for me that was like a break, but you were on something, and then
mhm.
another bar, another club, right?
Another
Bus,
party,
but like at another,
bus
right?
club,
Yeah.
another bus,
Yeah,
another club.
to me, I think like it was more like, not that they caught up with each other, but that they were just having that she just remembers, or maybe just they're just having this conversation where like she's just not that interesting. Like you're not
Hmm
sure, and I don't know, like I don't want to be with somebody. We're just having this chemistry, and you're like, I don't know about this politics, general. I don't know about it. Like you just don't care. We're just in it for the sex or whatever. And then
hmm
and now it's like, well, have you learned? Are you different now? Like is there something that could have changed? But I really like your interpretation.
Thank you. I tried.
Yeah. Yeah, but either way, got swept away in the gray. That is, gray is not a happy.
Nope. And mind you, especially after we know painted all my nights a color I've searched for since, and now it's just like it's
Gray.
gray. It's all
Yeah,
swept up into that gray.
which is, yeah, and so now it's like, okay, now let's just let's figure this out. Like, what happened? I think, yeah, like how did we
Yeah.
go from ultraviolet, flamingo pink, aquamarine, not ultraviolet, that's afterglow, like aquamarine, moonlit swimming pool to gray,
Yep.
Sunrise Boulevard to gray.
Half asleep, taking your time in the tangerine neon lights. Like, what happened?
Yeah.
How did we get here? How did we get here? I used to know you so well. I'm
All right.
sorry.
You get to do the
Yeah.
bridge today.
Oh, nice. Does it feel like everything's just like second best after that meteor strike? And what's that I heard that you're still with her? That's nice. I'm sure that's what's suitable and right. But tonight, can I ask you a question? She's so messy.
So
I
so messy.
I love that. I love the like again, she's like, "Oh, like in the second verse, it was like him being like, "Oh, she's with that dickhead guy." And her's like, "Oh, you're still with that person who's like perfectly suitable and nice for you, I guess."
Yeah.
She's not me.
But what's the lyrics like? If she looks like me, you'll probably date her. And is it over now?
Oh my gosh, if she's got blue eyes, I will surmise that she'll probably date her.
Yeah.
Which is an insane lyric. Who would surmise in a song?
And then I will surmise that you'll probably later is crazy. Like to be
It's
like, you have
nuts.
a type and it's me. Let's be
I
real.
can't believe your type is me.
So okay, so again so everything feels like, we had the colors, that the screaming
Mhm.
colors, and yeah, it's after this meteor strike, right? A meteor strike is a shooting star that hits Earth is a meteor strike, some
Yep.
cataclysmic event, actually, not just romantic. It's like once in a lifetime. It causes a crazy crater impact. Actually, dinosaurs died because of meteor strike, or like
Yes.
a gajillion of them died, and then the resulting, atmospheric, etc. And then,
Yep.
oh, you're with her. And so I think it's really interesting because Midnights, just to pull back a little bit, is about her sleepless nights looking back at this relationship. And so when I listen to the song usually, I'm like, oh, she's just thinking back, older Taylor looking back at younger Taylor's boy, like on and off situationship. But in this bridge, you're very clearly, she's like taken the spot of she's reliving the 20-year-old Taylor, being like, "Oh,
Yep.
you're still with her? That's nice." Like she's like re-embodying herself and putting,
Hmm.
like, if I were really 20, whatever, 22, 23, whatever, however she was, right? Like she's being that girl, and I'm like, whoa, like she is so far into this daydreaming that she's actually embodying her old self.
Hmm. And her old self was like, damn, you only want me. You're just searching for second best.
Yep,
That's crazy.
that's crazy. You dream of my
Also,
mouth before it called you a lying traitor. You search in every
oh,
model's bed for something greater.
baby, was it over? Anyway, that song is so good. Anyway, this song also, like, focusing on Question. I remember I bought Question like 5 times because this was before we were sure she was going to take up the entire top 10. And we were like, Question's going to miss top
Oh,
10.
I remember that.
We need to make sure. I was streaming the clean version. But no, I love the fact that in one line she has feel like, just like, and rhymes it with meteor strike. And then the what's that I heard? I love it when Taylor gossips in song. I think that's why I like the intro to Paris so much. What she does, which is on Midnights, obviously. And the entirety of Midnights is like this such a it's a gossipy album
Even
in that
Antihero.
literally, it's gossiping. She's gossiping about herself, but all of it, she's like, "Let me sit down with my best friend. I've got some things to get off my chest. We need to talk."
You're Hey, that's good. Like, Lavender Haze, talk your talk and go viral. I don't Right,
Mm-hmm.
like get it off my desk, get it off your chest. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, or it's hiding from the gossip, like in Sweet Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah,
It's
there's
very gossipy.
it's very gossipy.
It's very gossipy.
Oh yeah, yeah. I like That's good.
You're
That's
welcome.
good.
You're welcome. Thank you.
That's what I
But
like.
yeah, I just think Question as a song, it is very like, yeah, it's very repetitive, but she keeps asking the same questions over and over again. She's like, I just need to know these specific things, and then once you tell me the answer, I will be fine to put this to bed.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I think early 20s Taylor did have lots of questions about the relationship, as we see in
Yep.
Is It Over Now That We Don't Talk, uh and all these other vault tracks. I mean, even in, again, like I said, even in the album itself, right? Like
Hmm.
lots of
How
questioning.
you get the girl, she has questions where she's like, this is what you should have done.
Yeah.
I was there when she sang Mean How to Get the Girl, when she was mad singing it.
Yes.
So I was mad singing it. Um, what's that other, didn't she say How You Get the Girl? Something. She was like, I had an ex who lived up the street from me. And it was like, this is what you should do. Um,
I don't remember.
No, it just is like she had a lot of questions. And 1989 as an album, because that's where I see Question, obviously, and we've said this, but 1989 as an album, oh, it's I Wish You Would that I was thinking about. I Wish You Would Come Back.
That's right.
That's
That's right. That's right.
another where she's just like trying to work through these demons. But it was interesting how on that album, when she was like, I need to create the most perfect pop album, she was holding certain things back. Again, she would have never released Slut in 2014. That was
Correct.
never going to happen.
Correct.
Ever, 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 ever in a billion years was it ever going to happen. Um, or like a song as vulnerable as Say Don't Go, which also is like asking all these questions
Yeah.
and just like I said I loved you and you said nothing back. Like,
Oh
isn't
yeah.
that crazy?
You're right. Say Don't Go has like, why'd you have to lead me on? Why'd you have to something something? Why'd you
Walk
have
away and leave me
bleeding,
bleeding.
bleeding, bleeding?
Yep. Now that we don't talk has a bunch of questions as well of like um she's talking about him going to the party. She's like, "Did you get anxious though on the way home?"
Mm.
Like I just want to know, like, did you get anxious though? Because I used to know you and I knew you would get anxious like things like this, and now we don't talk. Um
Yeah,
so
what
it's
do
like
you tell
every
your friends
she's
we shared dinners, long weekends with, right? That's
yep. So
crazy.
literally all of those songs.
And you know what? I think it's that line like with the miscommunications line, right? Like it's
Hmm.
but one thing after another, fucking situations, circumstances, miscommunications, like that was the encapsulation of their relationship. Because I'm also making a double entendre with the fucking situation. So okay, if you take
Yep.
that double entendre, okay, they had the sex,
Fantastic,
they
yeah.
had the situations, they had circumstances, they had miscommunications, and that's
They
like,
had sex situations.
yeah, all of that put together was that relationship that was kind of a tumultuous thing in 1990 that we didn't even know was so like had such a grip on her until we got the vault tracks. Like question kind of was like,
Yep.
oh, like she still had thoughts, like, oh, interesting, haha, funny, cute, and then 1989 she's like, here you go, and we're like, oh,
Even
like
literally, even Slut, as like sexy and interesting as that song is, has the question of what if all I need is you? Like every single one of them. It's like that's what look, she recorded the songs and she's like, dang, let me ask these questions in another song. Because I have so many
oh
questions.
my gosh, you're right. All I if what if all I need is you? Um,
That all turns down to it all comes down to like, what if you were the best I ever had and now I am stuck chasing other people or trying to find having eternal consolation prizes. And obviously I don't think she thinks that like that one person was the best person that she was ever going to have.
right.
But it is interesting to like have a relationship that is like a core memory for you or like that was so fundamentally changing as a person or like so fundamentally a part of your development that you are kind of like, oh, that was my like flashes of something like super real that could have been more and it was dragged out for years, blah, 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 blah. Um,
Yep.
yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah.
I love that. Well, I mean, this is a very cute song. Like it's
Yeah.
it's like flirty, but like, flirty derogatory.
Yeah. It's like dangerous. We're in dangerous territory. You're in danger right now. Don't answer any of these
Yeah, to
questions.
please, and like, because does she even want to know the answer, right? Like it wouldn't
Look,
help to
it
know
would
the
have been
answer.
fun if you would have been the one. Like maybe
Maybe,
we
but
were something. Don't you think so?
yeah, yeah, it's
Anyway,
so yeah, I
Hannah,
think
I have a question.
go.
Can I ask you a
Oh
question?
my gosh, yes. Do you actually have a question?
Yeah, I do. I was gonna ask for an emoji, but I've been making myself laugh.
That's a good question.
Thank you, thank you. I try so hard.
Now, let's see. I mean,
We should just the
it,
question mark emojis.
okay.
Oh my gosh. What Oh my gosh, this is hard.
No,
Is there a blue dress emoji?
a blue dress. I don't think. Actually, let me look up dress.
Only about
The
this
dress
history.
is kind of bluish on the iPhone.
It is. Okay, let's do a dress.
Yeah, yeah, because it's too obvious for is it over now, but it's funny for question. Oh my
Okay.
gosh, are we gonna get to 1989 eventually? Is that the plan?
I think we might.
We just
Yeah.
gotta keep it rolling. I mean, yeah.
1992 years. Uh, because I'm assuming she's gonna drop another bomb on us, and so then we'll have to go there.
Oh my
By the
gosh.
time we're done with Midnights, I feel like we'll have another bomb dropped on
Oh my
us.
gosh. All right. Well,
Fingers crossed.
then we gotta hurry up. We gotta hurry up with this album. We got a lot of tracks left.
I know, which is like it's a fun way to pass the time
It
while
really
waiting for
is.
her to
It
like
really is.
decide we should all die. Speaking of, never mind. I'll wait till
Oh, right before what?
right before we close.
No, I think we're almost. I think we're there. You should do it.
Okay, okay, cool, cool, cool. If you're listening to this, Harry Styles, HS4, I need you to respond to these songs and also respond to Peter because even though I don't think it's about you, I think you should think it's about you. Just in general sense, I think you should just respond to it. And he should respond to XYZ songs as well because he hasn't released an album since 1989. Taylor's version came out,
Yeah.
so this is the perfect time.
Yeah. I'm sure he was listening to it while he was running in the Tokyo Marathon.
He was. Um, and that has been the Haler exclusive.
Oh my. I mean, yeah. It's
Even though I'm
it's
not
been
even
a
a Haler, I
while
just
since
like Harry's music. Yeah.
it's been a while since he dropped an album, right? It's been like
He
3.
was waiting for Taylor to figure out what songs he should write a response to.
Oh, I see. I see. I see. So yeah.
All I know is if he has a song called Darling on there, I gave the order.
I will say. I mean, like Taylor. I know you're listening. You just hand this. You just send it over to his publicist or whatever. Send it over. But yeah, no,
Yep.
I will be fascinated to see if there is like a response to it.
I think that would be hilarious
It would be hilarious.
because I still think about listening to Two Ghosts and him going, Fridge light washes this room white, as if he was responding to All Too Well. And I was like, wrong, wrong album, wrong era. Good.
But I
That
mean,
was a
you
good.
can be inspired by anything. You can connect things together.
Exactly, exactly. Which is exactly why. And I say this, no Haler, but Lost to the Lost Boys chapter of your life is about One Direction to me. When I think of that song, I envision me being a young child growing up with One Direction, and I'm like, oh, my boys separated. They're literally lost to the Lost Boys chapter of their life. Like it's crazy. That's why I need him to write a response.
Yeah, yeah. Harry Styles will be waiting.
Harry Styles, known listener to the Taylor seminars. Taylor, also known listener.
Yes, we're just collecting pop stars like Infinity Stones here on the podcast. So.
Exactly. I'm next.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm next. Yeah, love.
Relationships, actually, in relation to question, would be really interesting. I need to listen to them back to back.
All right. And then yeah, follow
Sounds good.
Exquisite on Twitter for her thoughts on that.
Yeah,
See if she
and then follow
starts crashing out to it. We'll know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. As always, you can support us on Ko-fi or just follow us on all our socials. And interact with us with the hashtag Midnight Seminars because that's just Exquisite and I go through it all the time. And it makes
We
us
do.
so happy. Like, genuinely, we sent each other screenshots. So thank you so much. And we will be back next time with vigilante shit. Bye bye.